So we just watched the new Blumhouse movie Unseen, which is not to be confused with the movie we just recently watched from the 80s called The Unseen.
Right.
The slasher movie that I really enjoyed the hell out of.
Yeah, it's not that one.
Totally different movie. Now, if you saw a movie from last year called See For Me, you're going to have deja vu here because this is a very similar film.
It is very similar,
Yes.
but there are differences that I like.
Sure, it's different
bit.
enough that it's a different kind of movie for sure, but it has the same premise. So essentially, a girl who has bad vision, in the other movie, she's completely blind. In See For Me, she's completely blind. In this movie, she's legally blind.
Yeah.
Right? She can't see shit.
Yeah.
She has Van Damme Bloodsport vision.
No, way worse. Way worse.
Way worse.
Oh, man.
Yeah, she really can't see. And they do a good job of depicting her vision. Now, I didn't know someone who had that bad a vision could clear it up with glasses. It's like,
Sure, yeah.
man, that's incredible.
Yeah.
That just like a little piece of glass in front of your eye could fix something this horrible.
Oh, yeah. I mean,
this is so, but what they're showing to me is just like a blob of nothing.
it is like you see very blurry like shapes and colors, but they're not even shapes. It's really just all meshed together.
Ugh,
and I think about this
horrible.
all the time, about how like being born in, a different time when glasses weren't as readily available, and being, that poor sighted, and how screwed you would be in, so many situations. Like, it's amazing what we can do in that. And really, glasses obviously have been around for a while, but like the fact that now so many people have access to them for relatively cheap. So, yeah.
So, as far as the film goes, a girl's ex-boyfriend kidnaps her and wants to prove to her how much he loves her or some shit. He wants her to know that she hurt him. Some psycho ex bullshit. And she gets free and runs out and breaks her glasses and has her phone, and she calls a random number on her phone. She got a missed phone call from a random number, and that's the one she hits on her phone, and because she can't see, and so she now has to rely on the eyes of a stranger through her cell phone camera on how to navigate the woods in a desolate area. Which, that premise, as I said, it's very similar to See For Me. But this is definitely different enough that it's its own thing. So it's just, it's a technology horror thriller. It's more of a thriller. Overall, there's definitely things that I like. I think that the characters are good. I think that a lot of people are going to hate this movie, and I completely understand. There's a lot of stuff in here that is just outright moronic. Like, fucking so dumb. And I was annoyed out of my mind. Now, one of those things is character decision.
Yeah.
And that's something where you just, as the viewer, have to accept those things.
Yeah.
Because there are people that will make these kinds of decisions. And you, the audience member, have to either accept that people are different than you, and that they're going to make decisions that you might immediately label as stupid, and then you're like, I want them dead because they're not like me, which is pretty egotistical. But at the same time, as the viewer, you are being asked to follow these people, and it's hard to follow someone that you so, vehemently disagree with on kind of morality, which is what it comes down to in this specific scene. And I definitely want to talk spoilers at the end just for a minute, because I have to point out a couple of things that are just so fucking stupid. And one of the things in the end is one of the most asinine things I've ever seen in a film in my entire life, watching 10,000 films now, literally. I don't think I've seen a scene so dumb in all of my life.
yeah, I do think that there are character decisions and part of the ending that is very ridiculous and unbelievable, but I do also feel like the film has this like reality adjacent feeling to it.
Kind of, yeah. Kind of.
So I did
yeah.
kind of take that into consideration. Like it's not quite reality, it is fantastical to a degree, which is part of what I liked about the movie. Actually, I really love the main thing that I love from the film is the way it's shot. I think that the colors are really cool. I'm a big fan of like the neons and everything, and I like a lot of the transition shots and like there's really cool editing. Yeah, so I was a big fan of all of that, and I really enjoyed the performances from the two leads. I think that they had really great chemistry, and I found that they just played their parts really well, in my opinion. But there is one, you know, as we'll talk about in a moment, I'm sure there's a scene in kind of the middle of the film that is just like, it's very frustrating and it makes no sense. And then there's a scene at the end that is just kind of like ridiculous, but I don't know. I really like the film, and I will say the difference for me between the See For Me in this is that I think there are more complications, we can say, with the character who's doing the seeing. In See For Me, that character doesn't really have any pressure aside from trying to keep the other one alive. And in this, it's like there's pressure from both sides. So I enjoyed that. I thought that raised the stakes, and I thought that was cool.
Yeah, one side of the camera didn't fucking turn into The Purge all of a sudden towards the end of the film.
Oh my god,
it's just so ridiculous. Like this movie hits such ludicrous levels. I can in good conscience recommend this movie. I think that it is a very silly movie that is going to cater to a very specific audience, and I don't think that audience is our typical viewer. Like, as a horror movie, forget it. I think that this is more of like, it's almost like a thriller parody in a way. Like, it feels like some of the tropes are being parodied because it is so almost comedic in nature because of how things are shot, scenes that are going on. It does feel like a more bombastic comedy that's trying to kind of also take itself seriously as a thriller. And so you find this kind of weird balance that I had a hard time getting on the wavelength of. So I was just kind of like, are we taking this seriously or not? And it does kind of try to toe that line of like, oh, we're really silly and fun and goofy, you know. Kind of had that like Pain and Gain feel to it with The Rock and Mark Wahlberg, where it's like, yeah, I know this is a true story, but it's also so hyper stylized and so silly at times that I know that this material happened in real life. When I'm talking about Pain and Gain, like, I have to kind of take this seriously, but at the same time, it's like, but it's not. It's so goofy. How can I? So I do have that. I love Pain and Gain though. So I'm using that as a weird similarity to this, but it just kind of had that feel to me, where it's an over the top comedy that's posing as a thriller.
I haven't seen Pain and Gain, so I don't know that comparison, but I actually liked the tone in this. I thought it was cool. I don't know. I mean, it was kind of satirical for the genre. Yeah. Like the thriller suspense, as you said. But I don't know. I enjoyed it. It like worked for me. The only real problems that I had with it are those two scenes, because I think that they weaken the characters, and the ending is just kind of like, what?
This film is asking you to suspend an incredible amount of disbelief. And that is something you're either going to have to be on board with or just don't watch the movie. Yeah. So that is one aspect. And another aspect is there's going to be a lot of people, I think a lot of them are going to be men, who despise these characters.
That's so, I really like connected to them. I feel like they had, like I said, they had good chemistry, and I liked them. I don't know. I would recommend the movie, but I think that it would be, I think that there, like you said, there's going to be people that watch it though that can't suspend their disbelief and get extremely frustrated. So I don't know who I'd recommend it to, but I think it's a cool looking film. I think it's really competently made, and it does have a kind of like surreal reality adjacent feeling. So I think if you're into those elements, it's worth a shot, and it's very short. So it's
Very
not like
short.
you're sitting
It's
for like a
70
3-hour
minutes.
movie. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I don't know. If you liked See For Me,
No.
maybe watch it, but it's different. It is different. But if you like the
See
concept,
For Me is much more realistic.
yeah,
Much more serious, and way better in my opinion. I was very much into the characters' decisions in See For Me, and it took it in really bold, interesting directions that I wasn't expecting. This is an absolutely asinine film with ridiculous decision making and a suspension of disbelief that I had a hard time getting myself onto. So it's not a recommendation from me. It's a recommendation from her, but I think after you've listened to enough of this, maybe you can make that decision for yourself. Hopefully, let us know. I am going to talk about a couple spoilers really quick. So if you haven't seen the movie, don't watch it. Anyway, that's from me. From her, she says watch it. Okay, so the ending of this movie, this is seriously one of the dumbest things I've ever seen in a film, and I'm not being hyperbolic. It genuinely was like, I was laughing out loud. Like, I was like, what are you talking? Like, what? The cops storm this liquor store, gas station, where a few people with guns and a crowbar are trying to get into a cashier's box. One of the guys is holding an assault rifle. The other one is holding a handgun. And the cops come in, ignore them outright, put their backs to the guys that are armed to the teeth to focus their attention, 3 different cops, to focus all of their attention and their guns to point at a girl whose biggest crime that they can tell in that moment, I don't even know what they could tell is her crime, but all she's holding is a cell phone.
yeah.
They're going to get a phone call, like this chick's holding my cell phone. They're going to come into that situation with people holding guns on this girl inside. Imagine cops walking into a gas station. There's the young girl who's scared out of her mind behind the counter, behind this bulletproof glass counter, and there's dudes outside with machine guns, crowbars, and handguns. The cops completely ignore them, put their backs to them even, and put all of their attention on the girl with a cell phone.
Yeah.
This is the dumbest fucking thing I've ever seen in my life. Yeah, they'd go after her maybe to get her out of the box, but they would immediately not only do they then arrest her, but then they let them walk out with their guns. I don't give a shit that this is Florida. I don't care that this is like the reddest state in this country. There's no fucking way. There's no fucking way.
Well, this is a scene. I agree with you. I think that it's like really insane to believe, but I do think it was like kind of done intentionally that way. You know, like there's, you know, the characters with the guns.
Just disarm these guys when you come in too.
I know, but I think it's supposed to kind of be like they're so wealthy and stuff, and like the cops don't really care about justice.
No fucking way.
That's what I thought when I saw it. But
shit.
I agree with you that I think that it's like, it's silly. It's very, very silly that would happen.
The cops would walk in and they would immediately be like, put your fucking guns on the ground. Yeah. There's no way. No way. There's nothing even happening. It's not like a bank robbery. It's nothing. It's a fucking girl behind the counter who sold someone's cell phone. They don't give a shit. The cops wouldn't even bother showing up. I don't care how connected this fucking guy is.
Yes,
the cops are not letting him hold a machine gun in a fucking convenience store. It's never happened.
To be fair, that also isn't the very end of the film. Like, there are scenes after.
Sure, obviously. But it's the last 5 minutes.
It's the last, But I think it was done intentionally for like an artistic purpose, because it is so silly and unbelievable that the police would respond that way without really like knowing anything about the situation aside from a girl has a phone. So I did think it was silly, but
silly is an understatement.
I mean, it is dumb, but I don't know. I like the film more than you did, so like I'm not as like pissed off about it, I guess.
All they had to do is have them put their guns on the ground. That's it. And I would have been like, all right, whatever.
Yeah.
Anyways, I'm not going to reiterate it. You guys get what I'm saying. The other scene, and this is a character decision. This isn't a plot hole. This isn't anything. We can disagree with it, but that doesn't mean that people wouldn't do it. We can dislike them because they did this. That's fine, whatever. But when she has the guy on the ground after she's hit him with the car, I love how in movies they always make it seem like you can turn on a car, throw it in drive, and drive forward in 1 millisecond.
Oh, I know. It always happens.
It's not how it works. Okay,
like
you have to start the car, you have to pull it down, you have to hit the gas. It has to lurch forward. It's going to take you 3 full seconds at least. And by that time, the guy's going to get the fuck out of the way. He's going to walk over to the side. She's not going to be able to see him. Doesn't matter. Let's say she hits him with the car. That's fine. She has him on the ground. The girl talks her out of it. And then later in the movie, she's like, this is my fault. And she's like, it's not your fault. And we're screaming, yes, it's your fucking fault.
Yeah.
You should have killed him when he's on the ground. Because then later in the movie, when he's attacking her, she's like, the mirror's in your pocket. So now it's okay to kill him. So because he's attacking her in that moment, what do you think he's doing out there? He just tried to strangle her.
Yeah.
He's fucking trying to kill her. At what point is it okay to kill him? Because this whole like morality, ethics, bullshit of like, oh, he has to be actively killing me. No.
Yeah, right.
He already actively tried to kill you today. You can kill him. You have my blessing. Kill.
Yeah, I mean, this is something that I think was really dumb because obviously it makes way more sense to kill the person that's going to just get up and come after you.
Yes.
But because it's a character decision and not like a plot hole or
anything,
no. It's not... Like, it makes sense that there are people like that, right? There are people...
Sure, but there's people like that.
And in her situation, like the girl on the phone, like she's not... She is in the situation, but she's not. And she's afraid of, like... There aren't... Most people, I don't think, have that ability to, like, want to kill and hurt, right? Like, you have to... Most people have to be pushed to that point.
But the other girl is in that place.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
The other girl should have just kind of gone with her gut on that and killed him because she's the one who's directly... going to have a consequence if she doesn't protect herself. But it makes sense that this other woman that's helping her, not in that direct situation, would be like, no, don't kill him, like, let's just leave.
Sure,
and for her morality or whatever. But I agree with you, like, from my point of view, I don't think that, like, of course, like, if somebody's trying to kill you and they're coming after you and you get them unconscious and you're so crippled that you can't, like, see properly or whatever, but you have a moment where they're weakened and you can stop them completely from coming after you, then 100% you should do that.
She's at such a disadvantage.
Yeah.
She has to take this moment. She is a fool to not take this moment. She knows his intention is to kill her. He has no other intention. There is no way she's getting out of this unless she kills him. Period.
Yeah.
So the other girl on the phone is wrong in this situation. And, you know, this is a morality thing. And some people just are like, I can't kill no matter what. And that's your prerogative. That's fine. But this girl was going to kill him. And the other girl talked her out of it because of her own beliefs. And it's like, fuck off. Okay? You don't agree with it, hang up. I'm killing this guy. Right? She should have stuck to her convictions, but she took the Hippocratic Oath. She's a doctor. She don't want to do that. Whatever. But, like we were saying, and I was trying to tell you, as far as, like, not liking people's decisions and holding it against them in a movie, we sure as fuck can do that because we saw Speak No Evil.
Oh, sure.
And we hated the film because of the decisions that people in the movie were making. They were just like, I can't relate to this. Yes, there are people. And I can't tell you how many fucking people in the comments kept telling me that, like, oh... just because you can't see their side, you hate them. Yes, we are allowed to have that reaction. We as the audience are allowed to get upset with people and dislike our experience with it because we disagree with them. That's okay.
Yeah, it is.
You can feel that way. It's totally fine.
Was a situation where, like, I definitely did not agree with that decision, but it just didn't ruin the movie for me. And I think it primarily was because I liked those other aspects. I liked the visuals, I liked the acting and everything. So But I was like really upset when she made that decision. I was like, no.
I'm glad she killed him.
So, well, yeah,
So
eventually.
at least she did.
I mean, we said it like right after she didn't. It was just like, you're eventually gonna have to kill him anyway. Like, there's only one way that you can get out of this.
And she killed him literally in the exact same way she would have.
So it just postponed it.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Like, of course, if she had done it earlier, like, it would have cut the movie short. Maybe you could have not put the character in that position, but also it adds some drama because then you have whatever. But
sure, I would have liked them to be like, kill him now. And then she like goes down and she got like misses because she can't see. And she's like, where is he? And then he like comes up and she has to run off. That would have been much better. But the whole, oh no, you can't kill him. And then 5 minutes later, it's like, okay, kill him. Like,
it's
fuck all that. They have to be pushed to that point. I get it. Okay, I'm tired of people telling me in the comments I don't get it. I get it. That's not what the fucking thing is. Okay, I could disagree with a character and dislike them for those decisions and not enjoy my time with the film. Doesn't mean I don't understand it. I get that there are people that are different than me. Boo. I'm thinking of all the comments in the Speak No Evil fucking thread, and I'm just so annoyed with that thread. These people are so fucking stupid, outright morons. Done. This film, no. You say yes, I say no. You say goodbye, I say hello. The Beatles. We're done. Anything more?
No.
No other. Yeah, we could talk all about it, like the bitch Carol or whatever with the credit card and all. That whole thing is so dumb. It's so over the top. Literally, it felt like The Purge when he came in with the glasses on. He reminded me of the dude on the turret gun in the back of the truck in Anarchy.
She was fucking scary. It was Karen on steroids.
Oh my God.
It's like, I liked that. That was like, that's what those people feel like.
Yeah, the self-entitlement of that level.
That is what that feels like sometimes. So I was into all of it. I don't know, but we don't, as you said, we could talk for a while about it, but
it is Florida.
Yes.
People in Florida are fucking crazy.
They are.
Yeah. And she's from Florida, so
exactly.
she can tell you. All right, guys. That's that. See you in the comments.